This is an activity that I've used to introduce conic sections and parabolas, and this is a photo of a parabolic dish which is used to heat up a kettle. So I'm going to start by importing a photo of a parabolic dish, and I do that by going to Object and then Insert Image. If you double click on the image, we get the option of transparency, and we can change that so that we can still see the picture, but we can also see the axes underneath. Now I'm going to put in the equation of the parabola, and it must be of the form y squared equals ax. So if I go View and Keyboard and enter equation, so I go y squared, I can double click on the y and then equals ax. And then using the constant controller, I'm going to change the value of a so that it sits along the edge of the parabola. Just going up a little bit more. And it seems to be about 9, so it looks to be about 9, a is 9. So I'm going to first of all put a point onto the parabola, and then thinking about what's happening, the rays of the sun would come into the parabola and they would come along horizontally, so I'm going to put in a horizontal line, and then they would hit the parabola and then be reflected off, and the reflection line would be the normal. So if I right click again and put in the normal, now to be able to reflect something we need to make it into a shape, so I'm going to put in another point along the horizontal line. If I highlight the first point as well and right click, and then we can group to shape. The shape's already highlighted, so I'm now also going to highlight the reflection line, and then if I right click again, and we have the option of reflection. So that's reflected the shape along the horizontal line. Just to make it look a little bit better, I'm going to get rid of the horizontal line underneath. So if I select it and then right click, and then I get the option to hide object. If I pull it out a little bit. Now what we want to do is to see what happens as we change the position of the incoming rays. So we're going to use the tab keys, and we can go across with the tab. Now if we want to make the steps a little bit smaller, if we hold down Control and we can see that the steps are a little bit smaller. If I let go of Control, they go a little bit bigger. And then as we move the position of the incoming rays around, we can see that it's always passing, or the reflection line is always passing through this point here, which would be the focus, and that's the point at which we would hold the kettle in order to boil the water.